Hey everybody, it's me, Undead Viking, coming to you with another video review. I apologize for the voice. I'm glad I actually have a voice. I haven't had one for about a week and a half now. I've been really bad cold over the Thanksgiving holiday, but I'm on the mend now, and hopefully I can get through this without having my voice squeak out on me. But anyway, the game I'm going to be showing you rather quickly today is a game called DragonFlame. Now, the reason why I'm going to show this to you, well, relatively quickly for me anyway, is that this is on its last day of a Kickstarter, and like I said, I would have had this review up a long time ago, but I would have been able to pantomime the entire video because you wouldn't be able to hear my voice. So DragonFlame, what it is, it's a game for 2 to 5 people where each person plays a dragon that is going to be trying to blast apart these villages and also castles, and then there's treasure and what have you in the castles. And it sounds pretty straightforward, but there's this wonderful element of the fact that each player is actually going to be stockpiling the castles with the cards that you'll be using once you claim the castle that you want, to loot as the dragon. And so you'll have some of your own items in there, theoretically, and some stuff that other people have placed in there. And so, you're going to be kind of betting on the idea that if somebody's putting stuff in one of the castles, you have to decide, are they putting good stuff in there? Are they putting, traps in there for me? My cat wants to say hello, apparently. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to play the game relatively quickly. I'm not going to go really in-depth or anything like that. But, and then I'm going to come back here like I always do and tell you exactly what I think about DragonFlame. Alright, cool. Well, let's show you how to play. Alright, everybody, this is how a 3-player game of DragonFlame would look like after you've gone ahead and set it up. You have the 4 castles down here that you, each dragon, are going to be attacking. You have your the different villages that you'll be trying to burn to the ground as well. And the reason why they're set up in a grid in here is because when you use your DragonFlame, depending on how powerful the DragonFlame is, you get to actually burn in a vertical or a horizontal row. And so, so I'll explain that in just a little bit. The castles down here actually function both as the castles that you'll be attacking and looting, but also they will determine turn order depending on which castle you take at the end of the turn. So, what you do for each turn of the game is that you have this big deck of cards here, these DragonFlame cards, and everybody gets 3 cards. And the thing is, this is the timer. The deck is the timer for the game. Once this gets down to 1 card, the game is over, and then you'll total up your points. So what you'll do is each person will take a card that they have of their 3 cards, and they're going to place it on one of these castles. And then obviously, first player, second player, third player. Now it isn't; these cards are handled randomly the first turn. But after that, like I said, when you pick your castle that you loot, that becomes the turn order for the next game. So what happens is that you play a card. Now, depending on what you have, like you can see here, there's these 3 little white boxes here, and you can see on this number 3, there's a white box and 2 gray boxes. What that means is that in this case, you're going to be playing 1 card face up and 2 cards face down, and this person has to play all 3 of their cards face up. Now, the reason for that why that's important is because of the fact that these cards that you have, these DragonFlame cards, have both good and bad effects. And so if you put something that's negative on a castle and everybody can see it, they're going to say, well, I don't want to, I don't want to take that one. I don't want to get negative points, or, I don't want to get cursed, or I don't want to have and I'll show you all the different types of cards here in just a little bit. But that's how you hide it. But also you can hide good cards. You can hide treasure cards, but you kind of scare people into thinking that you're going to have to have there's something bad there, but there really isn't. I mean, like, so it's actually good. And then there's that weird bluffing game, the game beyond the game, if you will, that I like in these types of things. So what happens is, like I said, you play the 3 cards, either they're face up or face down, and then you choose the castle that you want. And when you choose the castle, you immediately resolve all of the cards that are on that particular card, and then the next person in turn order, chooses one. The next person in turn order chooses one. Whichever castle doesn't get taken. So, like, let's just say after this turn, like, these got taken, like so. Then this one gets set aside. Notice how there's this one card that's set aside over here right now. These get set aside, and then, like, say, like, this player took that one, so they're going to flip that castle over like that. So that'll be the new turn order. It's going to go 1, 2, 4. And then these cards that were used, and not counting the one that wasn't used, go in here. And so then you just set up your next turn. And here you have this one that was set aside. And so then you have your 4 castles again. So it just kind of loops back and forth. Kind of a neat little thing that they have going on there. And you'll notice that obviously these are the number of cards that can be placed, and obviously the 1, 2, 3, or 4. So that designate what's on the other side, the 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now, so you might be finally saying, well, what are all these cards and what do they do? And I'm going to go through them as quickly as I can here and show you exactly what these DragonFlame cards can do. Now, a lot of the cards are just going to be DragonFlame cards. And as I said before, they have a different number. So just a DragonFlame, you notice there's a 1 on there. And then you have like a 2 and a 3 and so on and so forth. And so they have a maximum of 3. Now, when you turn over a DragonFlame card, let's say this person got DragonFlame cards, they got a 2, they get to pick the villages they want to burn down. And so they can pick 2 spots vertically and horizontally. So they could go here, and then you take the earliest one. So the 1 and 2, that would be 2. And now if they had a 3, they could have gone like maybe vertical, like 1, 2, 3, like so, or 1, 2, 3, like that. Now, the reason why you do this is that if a village gets all the way burnt to the ground, you earn victory points for it at the end of the game. And whoever has the most that they've burned would get like 15 victory points for this one. The second most is 9, and third most is 5. If you don't manage to burn the village all the way to the ground, nobody gets any points for that particular village. You just, it wasn't destroyed utterly, and therefore the dragons didn't do their job. Some cards will just give negative points. Like if you have a knight, and obviously this is one you're going to be hiding. You don't want people to see you have a knight. You're going to be putting a knight like on one of these, like face down. Then somebody takes it, they look at it, that's going to be minus 3 points at the end of the game. Some also things are curse. And also, see, it's like, so you're going to lose points for that as well. You notice that this one says unique. If you get another curse, you get to actually discard that. You notice that the knights do not have unique. So you could have multiple knights on your particular spot. There's a princess, once again, unique. Princesses score you a point for every unique item you have, counting the princess as well. So, like, if you have multiple, like, unique treasures or what have you, you'd get extra points for that. Sometimes you'll get, like, a relic that'll have, like, a special power. These aren't worth any points at the end of the game, but they give you an ability to break the rules. So at the end of the game, give one of your knights to another player. So a little special something you can do there. Now, some of these things you'll have are like statues. Now, there's 2 statues in here, and you can see it says, Tyrion, the Protector, Treasure Statue. Now, you see it's worth 5 points or 0. Now, if you get one of these, that's worth 5 points. If you are unlucky enough to get 2 of them, that you automatically get 0 for those. That's kind of one of those things where, like, if you know somebody has, like, one of these and you only give them 5 points, you will see that maybe they're stacking one of these castles. You have a pretty good idea they're going to go after it. You put that one on there as well. They pick it up. They realize, oh, it's like they just went from 5 to 0 for that particular statue. And there's lots of different statues, like, here's this Protector guy and this, like, green Cthulhu-looking guy, too. So that's how that works. Now, what also you have is these chests. Okay, So here you have a chest of Imperial coins, and there's, you know, lots of those different chests or whatever. And then there's a chest of silver pieces, and a lot of those cards as well. A chest of golden ingots, and so on and so forth. Now, chests, which you'll see, actually have, like when they have the scoring thing on the bottom, it has a little asterisk. However many of these chests you have of the same type, you score 1 point for each of those. Now, the thing about chests, however, is that, like, say you had all of these, right? But you also had 2 of these silver chests as well. You'd score 1 point for each one of these, but you get -1 for each one of these because of the fact that, like, these don't match the rest of your treasure chest. So you're going to be trying to, like, highlight and keeping, like, the golden ingots, like, or whatever particular chest you've been grabbing. You've been hopefully just hoarding that and nothing else. I guess, I don't know, I mean, I guess dragons just like one type of coin in their hoard that they sleep on or something. So maybe that's the reason why. And then also we finally have these jewelries, and this is just kind of the generic victory points, if you will. There's nothing special about them. You can have as many of these as you want, and they just score the points that are on them. You can have, you know, you could get every single one of these diamond rings if you wanted, and that would work as far as the points go. And so you play all these cards over and over, and you just keep repeating that, you know, placing you know, the burninating villages, you know, as the game progresses, and you will, it kind of flows really well. Like I said, it's kind of neat how these cards just kind of flip out and flip back in. Eventually, you will run out of cards in this deck, and you will stop the game. You'll total up total number of points, and whoever has got the most points will win the game of DragonFlame. I really like the game a lot. There's a lot going on, a lot of player interaction, a lot of bluffing, a lot of screw your neighbor type stuff going on. But let me tell you exactly what I really like about the game in my conclusion right now. Alright, so that's how you play DragonFlame. Now, there's a lot about the game that I really enjoy, and obviously one of the things that I really like about it, I've been really getting into games that have relatively simple rule sets, but really deep gameplay. You know, I just did a really long interview of Panamax, and whereas that game is really huge and big, the rules of it are actually pretty straightforward. Gosh, I put this cat out once already. Anyway, so, and this is another one of the guys, and I'm not, there's no real comparison between a game like Panamax and a card game like this, but I can draw a really, you know, dotted line parallel to, like, once again, here's a game that the only real mechanism in the entire game is you get 3 cards. You got to decide what you want to, how you want to use those 3 cards, and then you combine that with the fact that you have to have a little bit of planning ahead, as far as, like, do I want to go first next round? Do I want to take this castle that allows me to hide some of my cards? Is that more fortuitous for me at this juncture? And, you know, and there's all, but then you're going last, or, you know, and so on and so forth. And that's, like, one of the other things also, you know, but that all kind of ties into what kind of cards are being placed. There's a real great, having hidden information is very, very important in this game. If you're familiar with the game Escape, or you know, the Survive, or whatever, when you're escaping from the island or whatever, from Stronghold Games, the value of your meeples, you know, when you're trying to escape from this, is secret. You know it, but nobody else does, and so that piece of information is very, very important, because you know which people you can leave to die, and which people you need to save. In this game, being able to hide your card is really, really important. But so if you're putting treasure down on certain castles, then people are going to be like, well, okay, I want that one. Or if it's treasure they don't want, they're like, oh, okay, I'll stay away from that. But if you can hide it, that's really important. But the cool thing about this is that if to hide it, you have to get, you know, one of these cards that has the gray squares on there. And so you're picking a 3 or a 4 for your castle. Now, but the thing is that since people know that you want to do that, those are going to be the castles that are going to get the garbage, you know, like the curses and the knights that are going to give you those negative points. And so it's this kind of risk reward type of thing. I really enjoy games that have bluffing, secret information, and really tense moments. Now, I mean, I'm not like tense moment like, you know, you're watching a thriller or something like that, or, you know, you're just like, oh, what's behind the door? But any kind of situation where you have the big reveal, you know, you have, all right, let's flip the cards over and see what you got. And then either the people are like, yeah, or, God, I knew you put a curse in there, or something like that. And I like those moments because that's the time when you at the table, you're enjoying it, you're having the reactions and everything like that. And the game isn't, as always, you know, games, I play games for a lot of different reasons. And, you know, I play mind-bending games because I like challenging myself. I like challenging my brain to figure things out, to like optimize my gameplay. But I also like playing games that have a lot of player interaction and a lot of, like, you know, kind of telling a story. And even if it isn't a really deeply thematic game, a game that kind of reverberates through me, and I remember playing it like because of like choice moments that occurred with me and my friends. And so, and this is definitely one of those games. It has those wonderful moments where you put the perfect card down and you convince somebody, you know, to take a castle that you know is going to give them the screw job. And that's a wonderful feeling. And also, it's like when you're that hapless loser that picks it up, you know, you're like, my luck, you know. And even though, you know, and as I've always said, I don't really care if I win or lose games. It's fun to win, but sometimes it's fun to lose, and sometimes it's fun to lose spectacularly, if you understand. And this is one of those games that gives me those types of situations, those types of moments, and that type of fun. And, you know, it's a game you can teach in about 5 minutes. It handles 5 people. It handles 2 people. I've played it all spectrums of players, and I've had fun playing it with each and every number. So, and plus the game doesn't take long, about a half hour to get through the deck, to play all the cards, total up the scores, and see what happens. So for all those reasons, I really suggest that if you like card games with a little bit of bluffing, like I said, that secret knowledge, if you like fantasy themed games, if you ever like the idea of, like, you know, being Trogdor the Burninator and burning the villages, this is something that I think you might want to take a look at and back on the old Kickstarter, or after the game is published, if you're watching this video after the game has come out, maybe it's something you want to go ahead and pick up at your local store or your online game store of choice. So thank you as always for taking the time to watch this video. I'm glad my voice managed to last the entire time. If you have any questions about the game at all, I'll try to answer those to the best of my ability. Just please post those or send me an email. But until next time, this was Undead Viking. Hoping you had a great Thanksgiving, and looking forward to this month of December, because I got a lot of reviews I got to get through, and plus we got the big top games of the year as well video that I always do. So, all right, you have yourself one heck of an awesome day. All right, bye bye now.